I'm going to briefly talk about TypeScript. I'm not an expert or anything. I just like TypeScript, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Hopefully this is all right. I get it all from the TypeScript website. What is TypeScript? TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, so that just basically means all JavaScript is valid TypeScript, but it adds optional static typing to JavaScript. It can be, what are you doing over there, Corey? It can be used both client-side and server-side, which is nice, and it does just transcompile down to JavaScript. It also allows you to use newer JavaScript features, like features from ES6, like classes, and browsers that don't support it, which is nice. So why would you use TypeScript? My main reason is the tooling. So it does allows you to do code completion, type hints, and type definitions. And this really makes my code feel more nice to navigate and know what's going on, being able to just refactor code easily, just like that. You can also just, if an error is going to happen before you run your code for basic things. It also makes it easier to use larger frameworks. For example, Angular, the new Angular, not AngularJS, uses TypeScript. And I found when I was working with Angular, it was a lot easier to learn what I was doing because I knew what is this that's actually being returned, and being able to just press a dot and see all the functions that are able to do that, or all the variables. So it makes it a lot easier to explore unfamiliar code bases. So even if you are using a library a JavaScript library that isn't in TypeScript or didn't have a definitions file attached to it, you can still add type definitions to it. So you can use code completion and stuff like that and catch errors in those libraries. There's actually a GitHub repo and a website called Definitely Typed where people contribute type definition files for popular libraries. And even if the library isn't there, you can just create one yourself. It's pretty easy. So just some TypeScript examples. First one is type annotations, the main reason people use TypeScript. So you can just see here, and the person parameter, greeter function, is just going to be a string. Big thing to look out for is don't use capital string or capital number or something like that, because that makes things blow up. I'm pretty sure it's because that's JavaScript's primitive type. It's not good. You can see there that user actually doesn't even have string defined. You can pick and choose, which kind of can make it messy if you're not too careful about it. But it's also nice, especially me, when you don't know what actual typing it's going to be, and so you can do that. TypeScript, I think, actually infers that that's going to be a string. So if you were to put let user equal and then an array of numbers or something like that, it would run an error if you try to compile it. Interfaces allow you to pretty much type an object. So you can see that the person is now replaced by an object containing first name, last name that both have strings. And yeah, so that you'll be able to type check that. And then finally, I'm just going to classes. This is now an ES6 feature. I think it was first in TypeScript before it was actually standardized. But now you can use this in pretty much any browser. And classes are very nice. Instead of using function prototypes or something like that, in old JavaScript. Cool. So I used TypeScript writing the Revolution UC backend this year. I actually used a very nice library called Nest.js. I highly suggest you look at it. It has a lot of great documentation. And one of the coolest features I thought was that, and it really integrated well with TypeScript, was that it automatically generated API documentation for you. So here you can see that there's an endpoint register with the body registrant and a data type registrant DTO. And then on the right, you can see the DTO there. So when the API documentation was generated, it automatically took all this information and generated documentation for it. Yeah, so you can see here on the left side, this is the controller. On the right side, that's the DTO. Oh, there's a charger. You can also see that there's these decorators here. That's a feature of TypeScript. Oh, well. Got it. All right. Anyways, that's TypeScript. Have fun, guys.